So what we have here, Scott, is where you've fixed a lot of the issues that we've worked on since first we started, and it looks a lot better. First of all, you're getting the club up to the top really nicely. You know, it may be still slightly deep, but that's not bad though. I mean, that's pretty darn good. So if I bring it back down here, I'll show you the markers that we like to see. Ooh, whoops, got it on the circle, didn't want that. So it's coming a little bit, and not a lot, but excessively inside. At times approaching the ball too much from this way. So what I worked on yesterday was getting you to feel down and less inside. Because inside out, which is effectively, you're not so much inside out, you do bring it around this way with a pretty good turn through. This part of your swing's gotten a lot better too, although it comes up a little bit, but just keep turning through the ball. But the one part that you do have is that it does drop down behind you here. So when you get it up here, it's not bad at all. I mean, it's really getting close to being very, very solid. But that is still a little too far behind you at this point in the swing. When you get your hands back down to belt buckle size, belt buckle height or thereabouts, you want to keep your, by now the club should be in line with your hands. Because really the only way for you to get it through the ball from there is to come hard from the inside and have to flip it. So you get blocks or you get hooks. Okay, so we're going to keep working it less from the inside. Try to keep that left elbow real tight to your side. That'll help you get the club more out in front. See, right now you can feel like it's stuck a little too far behind you. Show you what I mean. Let me get a model from the side here. I think I've got a couple of them. In other words, what I've got to do is get that, this guy's got a tremendous amount of lag, probably as much as anybody in the world. But do you see how his arm's more in front of him here? This is the key to getting your swing fixed. The last piece of your puzzle. Do you see his arm, his left elbow, he's a righty, but I got him switched to lefty. You see how it's out in front of him? Way out in front of him. See how yours is your left elbow is still stuck behind you? We got to get your arms more out in front of you. Because see, even with all his lag, look where he is at impact. Look how in front of him his triangle is. Right, his triangle is way out there. So your left arm is still very much behind you. And that keeps the club way inside. So we've got to get your arms more out in front of you. I would also let my head roll a little bit earlier with the hit too, Scott. Don't keep it down quite as long. But I mean, if you're at the point now where you can make some big breakthroughs. And I think you have to get working on it and really start, breaking 80 on a regular basis. I haven't seen your short game enough to be able to comment on it, but I do think that based on the swing progress you're making, it should be an under 80 game. If you can chip and putt even a little bit. So, set up a little bit open. Take the club up, not around. That's getting better too. This club used to really be flat. But this is a good progression up the swing plane, the incline plane. Look at this. It's a little bit outside. That's good. I used to get stuck way behind. But just don't let that elbow fall too far behind you. This is the guy I'm worried about. When I said, I want you to feel like you're turning while your hands are still up in the air. Don't let that drop behind you. Because that's going to get you stuck really on the inside. And the longer the club, the more that's going to happen. Okay, so let's watch this from a model standpoint. I just hit on this left elbow now. I didn't mention it during the lesson, but I think it might be a good way for you to do what we're trying to do. Right there. You see that difference? Elbow, elbow. Hands out in front. Elbow still stuck behind. That's what I mean by being behind. So you keeping it behind, and I want to get that left arm out in front of you. So that way you can swing more in this direction when you're coming through and hit down on the ball better. Now, if you look at this closely here, watch. This, your hands and his hands are about the same point on the way down, right? You might be a little bit one click past, but look at his elbow where it is, his rear elbow. You see how much more in front of him it is? That's what you call getting stuck behind you a little bit, and that's where you're caught on the inside. Now what happens there, if you try to turn through it with your body, you'll scull it. And if you don't turn through it, you're going to push or hook it. So I want to get that club more in line with your hands earlier by getting your two arms more out in front of your body. This one was a little straighter, but that elbow's still stuck. And then you have to kind of chicken wing it and bring it up to... Another way of saying it is that you have a big separation between your elbows, and we got to get them a little bit closer, but the arm has to get out in front of the body. All right, so elbows in front, down, and swing to the right.